You're sitting at your desk, phone in your pocket, and you feel it. A distinct buzz. You pull it out. Nothing. A blank screen. That phantom vibration is a documented physiological response. Your nervous system has adapted to the digital environment by anticipating input that hasn't actually arrived. This experience often coincides with a persistent brain fog or an inability to focus on a single task for more than a few minutes. While we often blame a lack of discipline, these sensations are the outward signs of a specific chemical environment inside your head. Look at this biological map. When your smartphone pings, it sends a signal that bypasses conscious thought and directly activates your adrenal glands, the two small organs resting above your kidneys. This creates a state of perpetual fight or flight. This is why typical productivity tips, like hiding your phone for an hour, rarely solve the problem. You're attempting to fight a deeply ingrained chemical loop with a temporary change in habit. Restoring deep focus requires moving beyond time management hacks. It requires a targeted intervention to address the biological mechanics of stress. To fix this, we have to look at what happens the exact millisecond a notification enters your nervous system through your eyes or ears. This diagram shows a cross-section of the human brain. Watch as the incoming signal from a notification strikes the amygdala, the brain's primary threat detection center. The digital ping instantly forces this cluster into a state of high alert. Once activated, the amygdala sends an immediate signal straight to your adrenal glands. This results in a sudden, massive release of cortisol, the body's primary stress hormone. Cortisol is an evolutionary survival tool. It provides a temporary burst of energy to help you escape a physical predator, after which your levels are meant to drop back to a resting state. But the modern landscape of rapid-fire scrolling prevents that recovery period. The hits come so frequently that your adrenal glands never return to a safe baseline. Instead, cortisol levels stack higher and higher throughout the day. Your body is trapped in a chronic chemical state, one that was never evolved to be sustained for more than a few minutes at a time. This surplus of cortisol circulates through the entire bloodstream, eventually washing back over the brain's most sensitive regions. The primary casualty is the prefrontal cortex, the area directly behind your forehead responsible for complex planning and decision-making. This localized diagram shows the effect of that chemical bath. Under a constant flow of cortisol, the neural pathways responsible for emotional regulation and sustained focus physically thin out and degrade. This structural degradation explains why deep work often feels physically impossible in the digital age. When these specific pathways are worn down, the hardware required for concentration is no longer fully functional. Because this is a matter of hardware damage rather than a lack of character, the solution must focus on structural repair. A 72-hour disconnection interval provides the biological conditions necessary to repair this systemic damage. 3 days is the specific metabolic window required for the glandular system to process and clear a chronic hormonal backlog. Watch this flowchart. Removing digital triggers makes the amygdala go dormant, resetting the pituitary gland to a neutral baseline. Next, a systemic flush begins. The liver and kidneys clear accumulated cortisol from your bloodstream. Finally, in the prefrontal cortex, neural pathways repair and strengthen. This process restores the physical capacity for emotional regulation and the ability to maintain focus on a single objective for extended periods. The digital age forces a physical adaptation on the human brain. By targeting the mechanics of your cortisol response, you can repair these pathways and restore your capacity for intentional, sustained focus.